and ignore the sell side. You have to do your work all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think you should build a big team. I used to think building a big team of analysts was a good idea, but I'm not even sure that's true. Just do it all yourself. That's really it. Everything else kind of falls into place. You know, there's no substitute. You know, if you can't find good stocks to buy and bad stocks to short, it doesn't really matter what stop loss strategy you have. It doesn't matter any of those things. You find a 10 bagger, it's in your portfolio, you're going to make money. It doesn't matter what strategy you have. Low vol, high vol, concentrated, diverse. Not going to make a difference. You're going to make a fortune. Don't follow any buy-siders or sell-siders. Fuck them. You got to do you. They're not putting money in your pocket. I mean, you can pay attention a little bit, but, you know, at some point, if you just become a hedge fund groupie, you know, that's not going to do you any good. I think you got to have a network. You know, you got to, especially if you want a career, you got to be somewhat personable and talk to the other market participants. And if your strategy relies on market participants, you know, you got to talk to them, you know, understanding them, what they're thinking. But in general, this strategy is kind of bulletproof for basically just, you know, you can do your own homework and sit in there and study and invest and you don't have to do anything.
Oh, fucking yeah.
You want more clients? You think you can scale your business on excuses? Drink this.
Zuckerberg, blood.
I was human.
What?
I am human. Still, I am not a lizard.
Wait, is this even legal?
And the only thing I'd say about, you know, positioning and trading and stuff like that is, you know, never forget IRR as a concept.
I'm confused.
It's a really important concept. You know, a 5% gain in a month is a big gain. And it's a lot better than a 30% gain in a year. You know, and I think one of the faults of the Tiger Cubs was not trading. You know, if you can get a 1% return in one day, that's better than a 5% return in 30 days, and that's better than a 30% return in 365 days. Now, Galt and Sava are the stocks that I shorted last year and made a huge gain in. So they're dead stocks now. I mean, they're useless and worthless. But you guys saw that adventure. It was fun. Some of you made some money there. So, you know, while this is true, it is hard to identify. Because this is true, it is quite hard to identify stocks that'll make you 1% in a day or 5% in a month. It's actually very difficult. Because if it was easy to do, you'd have really big returns. So a lot of people gravitate towards this. Let me just figure out what the return is over a year or 2 years or whatever. But the problem is time is your enemy.